What was it about WondLa that made you want to come aboard the project?
Well, WondLa is a sci-fi animated series, and I love that genre. And it's a story that the writer wrote for his daughter, a coming of age story, and about themes about finding yourself, finding home, finding family. So, and it was themes that was really resonate with me. So I wanted to contribute to that vision through music.
So definitely an emotional connection was kind of, is that critical for you when you're taking on a role like that?
I think so because it really inspires me to put a lot of myself in it if I'm able to resonate with the story. So a lot of times in collaborations, I make sure I'm able to understand the why of the filmmakers, why they want to tell this story, because I think it really informs a lot of decisions that I make as a composer. Like the musical palette.
All right, so now you have this awesome character. What was your thought process then? Okay, now what was it about a musical journey? What was like, how am I going to represent her journey musically?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke a lot of the filmmakers, like what they want the score to be, and they wanted a theme, a musical theme for our character, Eva 9, to be both epic and intimate. So having that in mind, I went back to my roots. I'm a piano player, so I started writing a theme with piano first, and just seeing like, what can I do to make a theme that I can envision being huge and epic and adventurous, but also able to show those really intimate, emotional moments. So it took a time to like really craft that, but it was a lot of conversations with my filmmakers and what works, what doesn't. It's not just her, like there's lots of different characters and different locations, and I want to understand what characteristics they want to tell, so that informs what I do as well.
All right, our last question is, so we want you to assign something to students. If you were going to assign homework, what film or TV show would you want them to watch for the composing angle? Like, what would be a good thing to study?
Oh wow, it depends on what different genre. There's so many different out there. For my specifically, because I'm a big 90s kid and I grew up in the golden era of Disney, I love all those classical scores like Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, like Mulan. Like, I think those would be great scores to study and see how music intertwined with the storytelling and the songs and the score. It's very important, I think.
First question, because we have a lot of students in the audience.
Yeah.
What was your first professional or non-professional animation gig?
Oh, okay. My first non-professional animation gig, it was a student film that I scored when I was still studying in Berklee College of Music. I scored to like a storyboard that an artist created from Emerson College, and that was ignited my love to score for animation, because I found that there was so much room for the music to be part of the storytelling and the world building. So that would be my first non-professional one. But my first professional one was Skydance Animation's first project called Blush. It's now on Apple TV Plus, and that was their first project they put out, and I'm just really honored that I got to contribute the score to that. So.
Now, going back to the Berkeley thing, did you know were you interested in animation at the time, or were you thinking a different path when you first started, like I can do this professionally?
I've always wanted to score for film and TV, but animation was a medium that I always felt really compelled to, because I grew up watching animation. Like I loved the golden Disney era with like Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, and I love all the scores from it. So I've always wanted to do that. So that was kind of like my first introduction to like actually collaborate on an animation project.
Do you feel that animation is in some ways more freeing as a music storyteller as compared to live action?
I think so, because you're really part of the world's building. You're building something from scratch, including the animation. And I feel like there's just less limitations, like in terms of creativity. You get to really push the boundaries, and you get to be as creative as you can and really go into the imaginative world. And I think that the music is definitely a huge part of that world building and storytelling.
Sounds like to me also that you definitely have to be more in sync visually with the way the style is, because it will affect how you score if they go off in a weird, surreal direction.
Absolutely. So for WondLa, the TV series that I just scored, I was fortunate enough to get brought on early on the project, and I was able to see a lot of this. I read the scripts. I had them send me like character designs, location designs, set designs, and color keys, whatever. To me, it's like kind of, as a composer, it's like research. I want to make sure I know like what is the groundwork that I have to cover, and like what can I do in the music to also show those characteristics. So they inspired me, but they also wanted my music, so it inspires them. So it's a very like, we're kind of both departments inspiring one another. Then we can really be part of that storytelling. That to me is really exciting.
That's a little different than live action because a lot of the students don't really realize oftentimes in live action you don't see it till it's actually done.
Exactly, and also live action, like we're relying on real life actors, and it's kind of different in animation where I feel like you get to be even more imaginative, and sometimes music is really forward when you are part of that storytelling. So it is a different mindset that I have to put when I'm scoring like a live action film versus an animation film. So.
We could talk a little Barbie.
Yeah.
So okay, so Barbie, you took Barbie global. Yeah. So was that kind of fun stretching Barbie into a whole kind of a global audience and a whole new way of telling her story?
Yeah, I mean, so it's Barbie Mysteries is actually the upcoming animated series on Netflix. That one's super fun because you see the two Barbies, Brooklyn and Malibu. They're like solving crime and they're like really analyzing like who stole the horse, and it's a part of the new series coming up. And that's really fun because you're right, it's really at a global scale, and like kids of all ages can watch it. And I love that it's a it's a TV series that really can inspire girls to be like, oh, we can also be there, solve crime. Like like I hope it can inspire all the little girls out there.
Did you want to solve crime when you were a kid?
Of course, of course. I mean, I loved like Totally Spies. Like I love that. I love Kim Possible. I love Powerpuff Girls. Like I grew up in that era, so like I love all of that. So to be able to write music for that, it's so fun, and especially for Barbie, like I'm really excited for people to watch that.